Hello, my name is Father Charlie Bouchard, and I'm here to offer you a word of hope on the readings for the 32nd Sunday in Ordinary Time. You'll notice that both the first reading and the Gospel today focus on the actions of a widow. In the first case, the widow who came to the aid of the prophet by making him a little cake with her last measure of flour. And in the second one, the widow who offered her two tiny little coins at the treasury, which was all she had. To fully appreciate this, we need to remember that in Jesus' time, when a woman's husband died, she was totally without any means of support. There was no social security benefits, there was no pension, there was nothing to sustain her except her own resources and perhaps friends of hers who would reach out to help her. That makes their stories even more poignant and striking. But there's a couple other things that I think are important about this reading, especially the Gospel. The first one is the size of the woman's offering itself. She offered these two tiny little coins, which were barely worth a penny. And I think that's significant in itself, and it's obviously the main point of this gospel story. But the other thing that's important, and perhaps even more significant, is that Jesus noticed. Remember, he's in the middle of the marketplace here, which is full of activity and buying and selling and people offering their gifts. And yet he noticed this little old woman offering her tiny little gift to the treasury offering box and took note of it. And as we reflect on that, we wonder, why did he notice that? Why did that seem so important to him? And it could possibly be that in the chapters immediately following this in the Gospel of Mark, Jesus begins the move toward Jerusalem and toward his crucifixion. And I think it's entirely possible that as Jesus saw this woman give her all, give everything she had, he thought to himself, well, if she can do that, I can do that too. And so as he moved toward Jerusalem and toward the crucifixion, he may have repeatedly thought of this woman's example of giving everything she had in that moment, just as he was about to do the same thing. So I guess there are two important messages for us in this particular set of readings. The first one is the importance of small gifts. That we often do things for people and we say, oh, it was nothing. Don't worry about it, it was nothing. And maybe it was, relatively. But every act of charity that we perform, no matter how small, moves us and shapes us, makes us more Christian, more generous, more loving of God and other people. And the second thing is not to forget the impact our good acts may have upon other people, just as the widow's donation to the treasury may have actually influenced Jesus in his travels toward Jerusalem and toward his final destination, crucifixion on the cross. That we should never underestimate the importance and the influence of our good acts. We do them, of course, to please God, but we hope that perhaps they're also going to have an effect on the people around us, leading them to have the courage to do good acts as well. We often rely on one another for support and for courage and for sustenance as we try to live holy lives. Let's keep doing that. Let's do our good acts intentionally, try to lead others to do good things as well, so that together we can come before the Lord having said, truly, we did all we could.